I have failed this entire year to read a single word from a book. I've been so busy creating my very own podcast that I just can't read. It takes me about 40 hours of intensive work a week to create just one episode of the If Then podcast, along with all promotional work. But with 168 hours in a week, that's no excuse. Even if you subtract 49 hours of sleep minus 40 hours of work on the podcast, that leaves exactly 79 hours to solely dedicate to reading, because it's not like I have a wife or 2 YouTube channels, chicken farm, house renovations, or any hobbies to speak of whatsoever. Okay, so maybe it's more like 4 hours a week, but that's a lot better than 0. But with 30 weeks left this year, that's 120 hours left to read. I hope to God that I can get through 10 books in that amount of time, but I'm a slow reader, so I know it's impossible. So I'm gonna narrow it down to just 5. Let's figure out which 5 I'm gonna leave and which 5 I'm gonna keep. At the end of the video, I have one bonus book that if I get through those 5, I will read this year. Comment below what 5 books you want to read this year. Books number 1, both fiction. Which will I read? Which will I not? I've heard Jordan Peterson talk a lot about Crime and Punishment, and so it's something I've been interested to look into. I remember when I was a kid, this book just seemed impossible. I mean, it's like one of those books that everybody knows, but how many people have actually read it? Probably a lot. And I'm just an idiot. I've also heard a lot about Moby Dick. Got this on sale for $3 and I was like, you know what, why not? Let's just put another book on the shelf. But I was interested in it because it's considered one of America's greatest novels, even though it wasn't popular at all during the life of Herman Melville. So what's that all about? Honestly, I never really thought that I would read either of these, but I ran across another Russian author named Alexander Solzhenitsyn, and he wrote One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich or something. And I really loved that book when I was a kid. It's all about a man in a concentration camp. So I thought that I could try this Russian author and maybe I would like it as well. So I'm sorry, Moby Dick, not this year, but we're gonna put this on the reading list. Books number 2, both biographies. Which will I read? The First Tycoon, The Epic Life of Cornelius Vanderbilt. Honestly, I liked the cover, so that's why I picked it up. But no, it's from a bookstore called Landmark Booksellers in Franklin, Tennessee, and I love that bookstore, and so I always try and buy one book when I'm in there to support them, and I was like, man, this actually looks pretty cool. Not to mention that like a lot of stuff in Nashville is named after Vanderbilt, like Vanderbilt University, so I was like, I should probably learn more about him. The other is the biography of George Washington Carver, and this is a guy that I was very inspired by as a kid when I learned about him, because everything when I was a kid was some kind of building material. Cereal boxes were skyscrapers and paper clips were airplanes. And so when I read about him, I was like, dude, what a cool guy. I never read anything else about him after school, and so I saw this new biography and I had to pick it up. So I apologize, Vanderbilt, but you're gonna have to wait. This one is on the reading list. The drama is about to get real with fantasy. Books number 3. The Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia. 2 books I have not actually finished reading. It's hard to believe, I know. Which will I read? Both I've somehow never read, but both amazing reads in bed on your Helix mattress. Helix has changed my life, and not just with my amazing sleep now, but also in the amount that they've supported this channel over the past 2 years. If it wasn't for them, I would not be able to spend nearly as much time as I can on my projects like my podcast. Like I said earlier, you're gonna be sleeping approximately 49 hours every week. That's 26 years about in your lifetime. Why not make those 26 years the best years of your life? Helix is a premium mattress in a box company that makes mattresses specifically for your unique needs and preferences based on your sleep style and body type. With a lot of options for mattresses on their site, how they fit you with the perfect one for you is really unique, fun, and doesn't take long at all. They developed a sleep quiz, which is newly revamped, so if you've already taken it once, go ahead and take it again. This one's even more fun to take. It matches your unique body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Sarah and I could not decide which mattress we wanted for both of us because we both have different sleep preferences. I'm a stomach sleeper, Sarah's a side sleeper. We both like different softnesses of mattresses. We took the sleep quiz together and we were matched with the Helix Sunset Luxe mattress. And let me tell you, it's the best mattress for both of us. Also, they sell weighted blankets, which is basically permanently glued to my wife. She carries it around everywhere. She's basically ripped. The best part about all of this is that Helix delivers your mattress right to your door, and in the US, it's even free delivery. It just comes rolled up in a box, and it's super easy to set it up yourself. If it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried, Helix has a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. If you somehow don't, they'll pick it up from you full refund. Plus, Helix mattresses have a 10-year warranty, and they even offer financing options and flexible payment plans, so the perfect night's sleep is literally available for everyone. I love my Helix, and I think that you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. You can click the link in the description below, or go to helixsleep.com/Jordan Taylor for up to $200 off your mattress and 2 free dream pillows. That's helixsleep.com/Jordan Taylor. Check it out. So, which fantasy land will I dive into this year? I would love to hear your thoughts. Tell me below, but look, okay, fantasy is not my favorite genre, so I think I'm gonna go with the easier to read children's fantasy novels in the Chronicles of Narnia. Look, I'm not a total pagan. I've listened to a lot, well, some of the audio drama of this, and I absolutely loved it, but I've just never finished it. So I'm gonna right that wrong. I'm gonna read it this year. Books number 4, both education. Which will I read, which will I not? Look, in this political climate, I wanted to know why I think what I think, and not just think it just because I've always thought it or was taught to think that. So I actively sought out this book called Logic, A Complete Introduction. I love the teach yourself, model. I love that. So I got this, and I haven't read it yet. It's a very dense book that teaches you just a lot. It teaches you a lot. I wanna know if something that I think is not actually logical, and I wanna get those things out of my mind. The next book is actually a book that I've started last year and never finished, but The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. My wife got this for me, I think for my birthday last year, and I was instantly hooked, but obviously not hooked enough. It's really cool because I thought this book was going to be wake up at 5 a.m. or read so many books in a year, or just, stuff like that. But this book was so much not like that I almost wished it was a little bit more like that. I say that because that would be an easier read. This one really, really makes you think and have paradigm shifts in your life. It's pretty much what the entire book is about. It's all about teaching you to see the world and situations in different ways. So which will I read and which will I not? This was actually kind of a trick one because I'm gonna read both of these. They both just are so fascinating to me. We're gonna keep them both, okay? Couldn't pick between the two, so I said forget it. Books number 5. This is a weird one, okay? I guess this is miscellaneous. Which will I read? Which will I not? You know how when you go to Goodwill, you randomly find books that you're never gonna read, but they're 99 cents, and you're like, it's worth it. That's what happened with this book. I love conspiracies. I love them. This one is a deep one. It's about the monuments of Mars, and I need to cue some kind of spacey sound effect or music. It's all about these monuments that are on Mars. But there's weird stuff, there's pyramids, and this is me from just flipping through it for 20 minutes at Goodwill. I looked at it for way too long. But they've got these pictures, telling me that, we weren't alone, and that there's pyramids that are in this specific sequence or shape that's not normal in nature, and then there's this face. So I picked it up, why not? Then there is Blockchain Revolution. This book is all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and how it is going to change the world, or is changing the world. That's something that I'm very interested to learn more about. I am invested in some cryptocurrencies, and let me tell you, they're not doing great. So I picked this book up to figure out what the heck is going on. No, not really. I'm just interested in Bitcoin and that stuff. Who's not right now, okay? I want to learn just a little bit more about it, so I picked it up. So which will I read, which will I not? This is a very, very, very hard choice, and that's why I didn't choose, and both of these are going to be off of the reading list this year, because if you can actually do math, I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. is basic arithmetic. But if I somehow actually manage to get through all of these books, which again, it's gonna be a miracle from God if I get through one of them. I have a bonus book, and it's called The Story of Philosophy, and this is a heavy read. I'm not that interested in different philosophical ways of thinking. I'm not. I've got my way of thinking, and that's the right way, right? Oftentimes I watch educational videos and they throw around terms like Aristotelian or Nietzschean, and it's like, what does that actually mean? I don't really know. So I picked this up to figure that out. So there you go. There's the 5 or 6 books. Let me know down in the comments what 5 books you're gonna read this year, and maybe I'll steal yours and just dump all of these and just say, forget it. Let's go with what you came up with. See you next week. Bye.